Today, March 1st of 2023, is my 5th year HRT anniversary. When I started HRT back in March 1st of 2018, it had been 6 years of me attempting to get a prescription for estrogen and an anti-androgen. The first day I took my pills, it was an exciting moment. Finally, the sense of relief that washed over me was huge, was massive, was great. And my brain finally started working somewhat, only for me to realize, hey, there are so many things I have not actually dealt with in the time that I've been alive that I should be dealing with, that were all buried underneath a layer of dysphoria. But in those 5 years, I feel I have stagnated because the medical system here has failed me. And so, for the first time in an unedited footage of a Gryphon, let's leave this virtual space so that you can look at me, look me in the face, see what I'm talking about as I talk about it and why I feel that I've stagnated. Okay, here we go. I hope you're ready. This here is my face. If you've been following me on Twitter, you will be familiar with it, as I do post selfies there from time to time. Not often enough. Because I feel I'm ugly. And fundamentally, I cannot say that I'm not. I don't see what people think of me, what would make me ugly, because I am somebody living in this society. I'm somebody who has absorbed all of the messaging for little girls, and so I look at myself in the mirror, which I don't do often enough, and I see all the flaws, or at least subconsciously. I don't identify them outright when I am looking at myself. I know I have some benefits to my face. I know that I lucked out in terms of facial hair because I am hormonally intersex. Apologies for the cough. Seems like I've got down with something. Proper coughing stop me technique without the mask. Nevertheless, it resulted in me avoiding facial hair. I do still grow facial hair. I do still have some dark hairs that grow on my chin. I still feel something on my upper lips, some whiskers, even if they're not visible at all. Because, sorry for scratching my nose. When I started hormones, there was more facial hair on me, and in about 3 months, it peeled out. A lot of it peeled out, resulting in me having just like 8 or so dark hairs on my chin that take 2 weeks to be visible if I don't shave. But by that point, they're also so annoying and such a sensory issue that I do shave even dry without shaving cream just to get them off my face. I also know that, me being hormonal intersex has locked me out in terms of other stuff. My voice, even though I don't like how it sounds and voice training makes me go nonverbal, is not as bad as somebody else who might have gone through a testosterone-induced puberty. I also do not have an Adam's apple whatsoever. It's fucking smooth here. I know it's hard to see because I am fat, which is contributing to me feeling ugly because I've grown up being told fat girls are ugly, and the shape I have is not that gets depicted in art of chubby girls. It's a beer gut and a weird divot where my pants used to sit, and boobs that, while I'm glad for, do not stick out further than said stomach. But that's not all I want to talk about. It's the failure of the medical system that I mentioned that contributes to me feeling stagnant. Because when I look in the mirror, it's not that I see a man. That's not the main issue, because I know I don't look like a man. I mean, fucking look at me. I look like a faggot. What gets me is that my brain keeps convincing me that I still look the same I did as a teenager, as a 17-year-old, before I transitioned, before I had access to meds. Now, at the time, I did try to get through the system. I was trying to get puberty blockers to stop what had not yet happened. I was not growing whiskers until I was 18, and I did not start growing chin hairs until I was 20. And my voice was not yet quite as fucked. I just talked kind of deep because I was depressed. Shocker! The trans girl was depressed as a teenager because the system keeps failing her and not letting her transition because of their bullshit real life experience requirements back then. I mean, I'm 6'2", I'm fat, I had shorter hair back then, and my face is just kind of chubbier, softer because of my weight, but it's practically the same, at least as far as my brain concerns. I would not have been fine trying to exist as myself as a teenager, especially because I live in a rural area and I have no friends here. I had no friends here that would have had my back. And thus, the system failed me. And when I finally did get hormones, when I finally did get a prescription of estrogen, which I have in pill form in this fun little disc that a lot of people in Europe will recognize if they're on pills themselves, with their own country's days listed on the disc. The dosage was garbage, and my metabolism fucks it up. My thyroid gland is misshapen, you see, resulting in it not producing the proper hormones it should be producing for my metabolism to function properly. And that is why I'm fat. That is why I have trouble sleeping, even when I take the pills for it that I need to take for it. And that, combined with estrogen, results in it not getting processed properly. When I take it, I have a massive spike. I'm in the thousands of the unit we use here in Europe, which I know because I took it by accident one time 45 minutes before I had my blood taken for blood work. So I know why that spike was there. I do know I have these spikes. But afterwards, I just plummet, absolutely fucking plummet to my baseline, which has always been the bottom rung of estrogen for girls my age, as I found out, which is what made me realize that I'm hormonally intersex, because testosterone, that shit, was 2/3 of the bottom rung of men my age, while estrogen was bottom rung of women my age, and I know that at 21, those were the levels I had. And my metabolism fucks with the pills, resulting in it just going back to that baseline. For estrogen to work properly, you're supposed to have the blood work, work come back with, hey, your E is in the baseline for women, like regular baseline for women. Mine never does that. Mine comes back, hey, you're back down to the baseline you've always had. And the doctors did not consider this an issue, did not consider it something to solve or try and help solving with me. One of the doc was like, how about we go down in dosage so that you take 3 pills of 1 milligram a day? It's like, that won't help. And I can't do patches or gel because of my eczema, I don't know how it would interact with that. So I asked for injections. I have not yet heard back if I'm going to be allowed on those injections. And I also asked for progesterone to test it out to see, hey, will this work for me? Will this not work for me? But because I have to ask for it, it means that the medical system has failed me because it's not doing what I need it to do for me. And it results in me feeling stagnated. Because I look at all the other trans people that have come out. I look at everybody else at some that might have come out after me. Because mind you, again, this is my 5th year of being on HRT, and in total, it's my 11th year of knowing my identity. I came out to myself properly on January 17th of 2012. Right? And even before that, like, I knew I was trans. I just didn't let myself think of myself as a girl. I did not really acknowledge it. I did not ask others to call me a girl in those years online, even though I could have existed as myself, because I thought that until I start transitioning, I'm not allowed that. And it took until I was 15 to realize, no, fuck it, I am more than allowed that. Because what dude wants to be a girl? What dude is okay with being an ugly girl? Which I am fine with. The problem is that I still feel like I look like that 17-year-old. And I feel like that 17-year-old didn't look like an ugly girl. I feel that 17-year-old looked like a depressed teenage boy. And that's what's causing dysphoria despite. That's what's causing me to feel bad. All that is my confession, I suppose. That's how I feel today. I'd love to do something to celebrate it. 5 years. 5 years of puberty. Hey, shouldn't puberty be done? But no. The stuff I feel should be going on is not going on. It has not been going on. I feel I reached a point when I was like 18 months in, and I have not progressed past that point because the healthcare system has failed me in providing me the care I need. If you want to help me feel less bad about that, well, March 1st is also the start of the month, and unlike what Patreon suggests, what Patreon is trying to push for its stockholders, I still have first of the month charge. Because that lets me plan around it, that lets my patrons plan around it. So if you join now, you're gonna get read in the credits section of the Eroer video that I'm currently producing. I already recorded the footage of it, now I need to edit it. And once I'm done with that, I can record the Patreon thanks section to put at the end of said edit. So if you want to be in that, if you want me to read your name out loud, or to list you there, now's the time to join, because you won't get double charged like you could have gotten yesterday. So do that, please. Help me keep going. And if you'd like to make today specifically nicer, I'd love to play Lightfall, the new Destiny 2 expansion, but it's €100 for it with all the season passes. So if somebody's feeling generous, coffee links in the description. You can do that. I'd appreciate it greatly. Think of it as a gift. Think of it as a gift for me being 5 years on hormones. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye.